divide my paper into the half, or no, it's not exactly. More space on the top, less space on the bottom. I can imagine like that. My vase should be placed here. I need more space on the top of my paper, less space on the bottom part. And it's circular shape, so easy and circular shape for my vase. And then on top part, it's not visible, but the bottom part, it's visible. I can start some part with the pen. Maybe I need to erase too, so even for this one especially, because sometimes the circular shape is not really accurate, happen at the first time. So one curve, gentle C curve here we need. Let me turn on the curtain. Another C curve on the right side. Sometimes it's easy, just go with whole the circle shape and then erase the top and the bottom part like that. Practice with some line beside each other, that would be okay. And then you can erase it. And then gentle C curve on the bottom part to show that this is the place that our vase should be there on the tablecloth or table. And then a tiny bit part here we have a little bit move out. And then parallel C curve I will add. Now I make the stem later. I focus on each flower first. So this is one of them that I would like to go with. This one, it's placed here. So it's look like oval shape if I make it an oval like that. But first I have a small oval shape as a center. So I imagine here I go a little bit up. This oval shape is my center of flower. I just make it dark with my micron pen. And then one by one, draw each petal. Just you need to know about the long petal shape to place around your flower. And you see, I don't exactly go like this to be really accurate. It's not long and oval shape, it's a little bit pointy it has, but I try my best to follow something look like that. And one by one, randomly I place each petal around the center. Here on the bottom part is a little bit bigger, the petals, but on the other side, a little bit shorter, not long, because it shows that the facing of your flower is toward up and toward left. So these petals are shorter, these petals are longer. Now I move into the shorter petal, draw them. And there is some empty space, I keep it in between. Then I can see one beautiful leaves is placed here. It's another oval shape and then pointy here, but I would like to shape it more with the shape of the leaves like that. Then reach here. And one line as a center. Then the division line in between, make them more look like leaf. And there is more leaves around, 1, 2, 3, even here. I can focus on this one. Or even you can change, if you have more micron pen, this is number 03 that I use. We can move on to the bigger one, number 05. Sometimes interesting to have different size in your drawing. I draw the curve, a little bit make it pointy to make the shape of leaf like that. And then one line as a center, then some division line. So I want to have a stem and more leaves here for this part. on the right side. I started to have a stem from the sleeve. Not straight, it can be a little bit zigzaggy shape or a little move with your hand to place your stem on your paper. And then we need a little bit thickness on the stem, but here is more thicker. When you move here, it should be narrow and connect together. Then one leaf can be placed here. Like that. And then another part, it's divided into two parts, the stem. One tiny part should be here. Now, both sides I place the leaves. And make sure you need a little bit of space between your vase and the stem. So we need to place the leaves in between. I place here. I don't need to copy exactly the shape of that. I try to do some creativity by my own and finish like that. Or even if you do it by your own, sometimes your leaves is getting more beautiful. Most of the time when we want to copy something, we do more mistake. And like that. Then with one line, divide my leaves, both sides, and then some details inside. And two tiny leaves, one on the left side, one on the right side. It's here. One here. Another one is here. Working with macron pen, it's totally look like the regular pen or pencil like that. You can make a little bit dark line with that, or less pressure in your hand and make some broken line. So broken line is like this. I draw for showing the water that you see here. I don't do drawing here, 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 and here, and more pressure on the other side. I have a little darkness there. So with the controlling of your hand and the pressure on your hand, you can control the darkness of the line. At the beginning, it shows it's so busy, but one by one, when we add the leaves and the flowers on top, we can make it more easy actually. So I place this flower, three leaves around, and this stem. So we finish with this part. Now we can focus on the other side. This tiny flower here, and then these leaves that there's no drawing on them. So I imagine it should place here. You see that here my line of the vase is a little bit go up, so I cannot place this flower here. Nothing happened. I place a little bit up. And it's zigzaggy shape like that. Just leave your hand moving around and make the zigzaggy shape for the flower. Look like this. And then from this one curve come out for this stem. And then one tiny leaf here. I finish with this leaf and then give you more time to do drawing, and then we move on top. The other is this tree. The end is one tiny leaf like that. Another is like this. Place here, and the third one There is one part, which is the green part. It's connect a little bit on this part in this flower. So it's like a bubble, long bubble shape. And then it's like that. Just some shape moving on top like that. Randomly you can add. And then all these petals, it's like an open umbrella. The big curve here and then one line. I try to draw one line as a curve and gentle C curve like here and like there. And on top is this big shape, but I divide it into different petals. So I connect them into randomly one petal, move it like this, randomly another petal. You can play with the line to make it more interesting. The other, and then empty space in between, another petal like that. This is this level. And we needed to make it more. So I move up a little bit again, like that. And then starting from here, it should be close to the pedal that we have. And then from here start. You see, I really make a zigzaggy shape and play with my hand to draw it. And that's enough for this flower. So first of all, I draw one C curve on the left side, one C curve on the right side. I know that this is a big shape curve on top, but I divide each curve on 4 petals. And then the other petals will place on top of them and a little bit close together. This is for the pink flower. For now on, I just focus on the flowers and then place the leaves in between later. This flower is start from here, gentle C curve, you can bring it out and just look like that. Randomly add some shape around. Even it doesn't need to connect it into the stem. Just draw it randomly like that. With movement of water and purple color, we can make it more interesting, look like flower. If you see here even, it's the color, the paint is come out of drawing and it's interesting. And these are all the technique that we can make by watercolor. So loose and freely. The other flower is this tiny orangey one here in center. I bring it the center here, a little bit dark. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 petal is around. This is one petal, another second one, third, fourth. And it's connected to the other flower with just one stem. I can draw this stem to separate my flower from the others to have an idea about the stem. Even draw this for that one too. Now layer by layer, we can bring painting on top. Now I focus on this no, it's 3 of them. 3 flower, connect and pressure together. First of all, I draw each center. One of them is this darkness here. The other 2 is a little bit down here. Doesn't matter the place, exactly be the things that you see here. See your empty space. We need to place here. And just the shape is important. It's like the circle, not the circle shape, it's like squareness shape, but the pressure beside each other. Like that. And then comes up. I try my best not to pick these petals really big, not really small. and then enough like that. The other one is facing toward down. It's a little oval shape, not circular shape. And then I try to follow the oval shape. So now the third one look like this too, a little bit bigger. So I start with smaller petal and divide it into 3 parts. Then randomly I add some zigzaggy shape around and make it bigger and bigger. I finish with 1 circle, move it the second, third, and fourth circle as a petals around my flower. Make it bigger and bigger. And I don't see this the painting that I did before. I just focus on this one and place 1 by 1 each petal. The good things about watercolor and this technique is always you can draw the unique drawing, a unique painting. Stem to this orangey flower, little bit tiny stem, make it bigger and connect 2 leaves around like that and like this. But the flower is come inside around another 2 leaves is placed. It's like oval shape, a little bit pointy on top, like that. And then another petal like this, and then 1 leaf. And now these 2 orangey flower. One is here, smaller. I draw tiny oval shape as a center. And each petal is longer. Even I can go inside the other petal, it's okay. So I place first of all the center, it's look like that. Then this is an oval shape on top, it's a green part. And then around is a little bit long line, which is darker. And then place each petal. The petal is not exactly circular shape or oval shape. It can be square as well, or long rectangle. This is the first layer, and then the second, a little bit in between, it come a little bit bigger. The good things and the easiest part of drawing with macron pen, sometimes maybe at the beginning, it happened that you're worried to do some mistake, but when you work more with macron pen, you feel happy with it. Easily you can move your hand everywhere and play with the line, and you see the result is really lovely. Let me adding the stem, and then if you need time, I will give you a little bit time to finish your drawing. So the stem is just placed here. We add the one that we need on top. One is here, continue and reach inside the vase. So I start here. They're connect 2 together on the top part. I draw them separate, but continue with one of them. Move down. And then here, move down, try to follow. Then reach this side. This is one stem. The thickness is totally dependent on the shape of the flower. You can add a little bit less and more. But this line is a little bigger, not bigger, it's moved toward the other side. I would like to make some orangey tone. I have orange ready. This is my orange color, but I can make with yellow and red to show you can do. Yellow, red, give me orange color, so close together. If you add more red, your orange can be more reddish. If you add more yellow, your orange can move toward yellowish. So these are ready. The other color that we need is a green. You can mix yellow with blue and make the green, or any green color you have. I will go with the green that I have. I think it's hooker green. I'm happy with the green color here. Sometimes I need to add yellow to make it warmer. Sorry, lighter and warm. I'm happy with this one. Clean my brush. Instead of sharp and shiny yellow, bright yellow of permanent, I prefer to use yellow ochre in my green leaves. Yellow ochre already has green inside, and it's a really lovely color. When you have already the green in your palette, you can make it a little lighter by yellow ochre, like that. So these are all the colors that we need. I start with orangey color of my flower here. It's water. You see here, it's not dry brush. If I turn my palette, it can move. I easily diluted my brush into that, and I'm freely adding the paint on top of my flower, like that. Even any part you are not happy with, clean napkin and your hand can help pull, pressure, and lift up the paint. Pressure, lift up the paint. So easy. And then the other, you see, I'm not going one by one, draw each petal like that. Even my paint can move everywhere, can go out of my line that I have. And I'm happy with this. Even the shape a little bit more petals. It's visible, the darkness under it. I know the center should be green. With tip of my napkin, I just make it clean. And then I'm happy with the orange color and the yellow one on my paper. I can move it a little bit further, even bring it near close to the leaves, and then I can add the green one, and then keep this orange on some part of my leaf as well. Then clean your brush. Even maybe this is more light. When your paint is wet, you can do everything. With napkin, you can lift up some paint, make it lighter. Shadow and light you can make for the petals. I'm happy with this one more. I make some shadows on that, even on center of this. With clean napkin, I want to lift up some paint and make some lightened shadow for that. So I'm happy with this. I can move on with pinky color. Diluted my brush into that, and I don't want to forget this technique is wet on dry technique. So your paper is completely dry and you bring the wet brush on top of dry paper. So this is wet on dry technique. So I go to cover this flower easily, 3 of them together by adding some paint. Even I can add some napkin, it's wet, to lift up some paint here. I feel here more purpley, it's interesting to be adding some purple here, some brush stroke of purple. And here, clean my brush, even with brush you can lift up as well. Clean your brush with clean water and then control the amount of paint, or even with this technique you can lift up some paint as well. And make your purple lighter tone. And even my purple is more bluey, should be here and a little darker. Now I move on into the bluey purple. I don't use any water in my brush. Even reduce the amount of water with napkin. And then add some darker purple somewhere on the center. You see it's a little bit darker. So I use very less water in my brush and I try to use more pigment to have this dark tone. We don't need this dark tone everywhere, just in the center and place it somewhere. With some stroke, you can make it interesting. We have this one too. Clean your brush. First, you can go with this water-based paint. With the tip of your brush, move everywhere. You see, I don't pay attention to the drawing. It's visible under it, but I just go to add paint on top, clean my brush. I take some darker purple, control the amount of water because I would like to have darker value of my paint, and add some brush stroke as a dark color to the center. It's already a little bit wet and it can spread my paint everywhere. So I try my best not to come to the top of my flower. It's okay to keep it dark color on the bottom part more. I'm happy to have a little darkness here. My paint is completely dry, so this is, we can work as a second layer. Just enough water you can have on your brush. Very less, not much. A little bit rosy color. Control, always have a napkin in your hand. Control your brush amount of water, and then from one side you can move it and shape it like that. You see, it's the same color, but I use less water this time and more pigment. I can have really dark tone. With clean brush, I would like to come and get rid of the edges. So I touch the edges and get rid of it. And randomly, for this one, I can keep it like that. Randomly add some colors. This time the leaf is a small one. It's okay if you go out. I will go out of the line, but I use the tip of brush because it's a small part. Even something happen like that, you can control it with napkin to reduce the really water of, inside the brush. I just randomly adding some paint around. Here is more creamy color I would like to have. So I will go with yellow ochre, just the pure yellow ochre. Yes, that's really lovely, this color. And I see this one is more brown. So I go with reddish brown I have here. Reddish brown, I mean burnt sienna. So already here on this space, I have yellow ochre, I have reddish brown, which is burnt sienna, and I have the green color. It's so interesting to have different colors for your leaf. the vase is still the base, the first layer, I randomly use one stroke here like that. And anytime when it's wet, you can fix the shape with controlling by napkin. Adding some purple here and pink here, a little bit purple, not much. That's enough for one side. It's better to be light. I don't want to make it really dark. And pink color for here, cover it with one stroke here. I try my best not to pass from the stem, adding in between. Even you can keep it white in somewhere. Just really add some tone here. One stroke here under it. It's okay to have. Clean your brush. A little bit bluey color. Bluey and watery color. It's okay to bring it. And play with the pink color to make it darker. And even one or two stroke, it's interesting to have like this here. Then adding some tone, some water in your paint, more diluted into the water to reduce the darkness, and then bring it out as a shadow like that. Clean your brush completely and keep just a bit clean water inside, and then clean the edges.